Another option besides using the Apple iCloud is to use Google Photos. Google Photos, if you have a Gmail account or you have a Google Workspace account, you can get to Google Photos pretty easily to be able to back up your iPhone photos. Now, free Gmail, you get 15 gigabytes of space. Now, that's not a lot of space for photos, let alone for videos. You can upgrade free Gmail to as much as 200 gigabytes for $36 a year. That's a pretty decent amount of storage space for your Gmail storage for photos and videos. If you're using Google Workspace, which is the business version of Gmail, then by default, each user of Google Workspace gets 30 gigabytes of space, and it's called pooled, which means if you have two users on your Google Workspace account, your 30 becomes 60 gigabytes of pooled space, which means both users can share all of that storage space. 60 gigs is okay, but you can actually get more. You can increase your Google Workspace space to beyond 60 gigs to 100 gigs or 1 terabyte or as much as 10 terabytes. That's pretty pricey. You can also upgrade your Google Business Workspace to what's called Standard, and you get 2 terabytes of pooled space per user. So if you have two users, for $168 a user, that's $330 some a year. You can get, for two users, you can get 4 terabytes of space. That's a lot of storage space for your Google Docs, your Google Slides, Sheets, all the content you can upload into Drive, and your Google Photos and videos. Actually, I think it's a pretty decent solution to go to Google Workspace Business Standard. Now, all of that said, once you have a Google Workspace account, however large and how much space you need, you go to download the app for Google Photos to your iPhone, go into the app. Now, if you want to use Google Photos to sync your iPhone, this is the step. Click the icon in the upper right-hand corner, and I click on where it says backup is off. I click the backup, turn on. Now, I may want to verify how you want to store this. Original size, which the images will be larger, or storage saver size. You make a selection of what you want. You can also select to back it up over cellular data if there's no Wi-Fi, and then you simply click confirm. And it's going to start backing up my iPhone photos into Google Photos. Now I can go back up top and click on the icon here. Now, once you start backing up, it's going to take a fair amount of time. And that 76 items you see in a minute will go up to more as it starts figuring out what it has to back up. Now you can come down here where it says Google Photos Settings, click on that. And it may take a while to open it up because while it's backing up, it's really pretty processor intensive. Now, once I get it, again, you have to be patient. Once you get into settings, you can see there's all kinds of features here. It says it's backing up to TL burst. You can see I'm doing that. I can turn off the backup. I can turn off using cellular if I want. I can come back. You can see I get notifications. I actually turn off all the notifications, but you may want to leave some of them on. I have the ability to manage preferences where I can decide I want them stacked, group by similar faces, do memories, etc., etc. There are other options. I can say sharing, so I can decide I want to share it with a partner. I can manage sharing activity, etc., etc. I can come back, and I have the ability to manage apps and devices and also review the privacy information. This is all under settings. By the way, when the system is backing up, and you can see up top, upper left-hand corner, backing up photos, so it's backing up 74. It's got a lot more than 74 to back up. It just hasn't counted them all yet. But you can see that you can actually feel this when it's backing up, your cell phone, especially your iPhone, will get warm. I'm just telling you right now, be ready for that. If I want to go at this point and go back into the settings, click on my picture, and then scroll down. You can see, this is pretty interesting. You can see down below where it says 799 items to delete from this device. So you have the ability, if you want, if you're committed to using Google Photos, I can click on items to delete and delete these items. Again, in here, it's slow to respond while it's backing up. And I could delete the items from the iPhone if I want to. I'm not a fan of doing that. You see now it's up to 799, but you do have that ability. See, free up space on this device. These items are already safely backed up. You can still view them in Google Photos, but I could delete them from the iPhone if I want. However, I don't do that. So I'm gonna come back out of that. Go back into the settings icon. Again, you can see it's backing up. You can also see under the settings button, it says account storage unlimited. I do not believe that I have unlimited account storage. I believe I only have the 60 gigabytes of pooled content. So I need to figure out why that says that. It won't let me do anything because my account is a managed account. I need to go to my admin to figure out how that works. But Google Photos is a pretty interesting tool. You can go to Photos, they're stored by date. You can have collections where I can have different albums. It shows me documents and moments, which are activities, places that I've been. I can favorite if I want to, go back to Photos. I can take this right here and I can mark it as a favorite. Where's the favorite button? There it is, upper right. Hit the little star, add to favorites. Hit done. And so if I come down the bottom, go to collections, and I look at favorites, you should see at least that image. I've marked it as a favorite. Sync favorites for camera roll. Favorites will sync between Apple Photos and Google Photos. You can change this anytime. I can turn on syncs to push them back to the Apple Photos. I don't want to do that, but these are options. What I really recommend you do is spend a little time looking at Google Photos and making a decision how you want to use it. Again, it is a fairly reasonably priced solution if you're using either upgraded Gmail storage, which is 200 gigs, or you're using Google Workspace Business Standard, which is $168 a year for 2 terabytes per person. I think it's a pretty reasonable solution for any kind of document storage, including your iPhone photos and videos.